This Halloween sucks. Work's been hectic, my anxiety's been high, didn't have time to play a proper game to make a Halloween episode, I'm not in the spirit at all this year. I don't even have a new costume. All I could dress up as is, like, random Hollywood executive and dude writing a script.
So, you have a movie for me? Yes, sir, I do. I want to make a horror movie about Slender Man. No! 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 Sir? I heard a pitch for a Slender Man movie 6 months ago and it sucked and Slender Man wasn't even in it! Well, he's in this one. You promise? Yes, sir. Swear to me that Slender Man is in this movie. Swear on this pile of money. Don't people usually swear on a Bible? What's the difference? So the movie starts and we're introduced to our main character, Hallie, her best friend, Ren, and their friends, Katie and Chloe. Oh, what are their personalities like? Yes. Awesome. So the girls have a sleepover where they all watch porn together. Oh my god, is that what teenage girls do at sleepovers? God, I hope so. And Hallie's got a sister named Lizzie who wants to join the friends, but Hallie says no. I should hope so. I only like it when some of my relatives watch porn with me. So the girls heard that some guys they like are also having a sleepover where they're going to summon the Slender Man, so the girls decide to do it too. Sounds right. I too like to summon demons right after I'm done watching porn. Why do you think we're the only 2 employees you ever see in this office? So it turns out the ritual to summon Slender Man is to watch a video of trees and then it gives you a seizure because I hate epileptics. Wait, watching a video summons the monster, isn't that how the ring works? Yes, but having to intentionally summon the thing that kills you is also how Candyman works, so I figure we just rip off a little bit of everything and we'll wrap back around to being original again. That is how that goes. Carry on. So a week later, Hallie's still having nightmares about Slender Man and her school goes on a field trip to a cemetery. A cemetery? How broke is this school? They're about to be more broke because Katie stops to stare into the woods and then she goes missing. During a school trip? Oh, they are so getting sued. So that night, Hallie and Lizzie are at home when they hear some thuds and clattering in the house. Ooh, is it Slender Man? No, it's still a little early in the movie, so it's something way less scary. Katie's drunken dad who broke into the house at night to assault 2 teenage girls. Oh my god. So the girls decide to break into Katie's room to investigate her disappearance, and Ren kind of flirts with drunk dad to distract him. This is going creepy places. Well, the dad was passed out on the couch and they needed a way to sneak past him. They couldn't sneak around a blacked out alcoholic without offering up their friend to a creep. No, it's well known that beer heightens all your senses and sharpens your mind. That's why I never write a script sober. That explains a lot. So they find out Katie's been drawing and researching Slender Man because they just happen to know their friend's computer password. Sound reasoning. I know all my friends' passwords, Crystal Boner 69. Ah, dang it. Also, good thing you revealed that Katie got taken by the Slender Man. I was confused about that in this movie called Slender Man. And they find out Katie was talking to someone called Alley Cat 93 who knows everything about Slender Man. And Alley Cat explains everything to the heroes immediately so they can be prepared? No, because then I wouldn't have an hour of movie left, so get all the way off my back. Oh, sure, let me just climb off that thing. So Katie finds out that Slender Man's like a virus for the brain, and once you've seen him, there's no escape. So our heroes are doomed? No, because if you sacrifice something you love, you can escape. Kind of feels like that won't work given there's an hour of the movie left. So the girls go to the woods at night. Chloe brings her only photo of her and her dad, Hallie brings some crap her grandma made, and Ren brings a teacup she made in pottery class. Seems like Chloe's the only one taking this seriously, and their parents don't notice 3 teenage girls leaving for the woods when a teenage girl just vanished in the woods. Sir, this is a movie. Everyone knows that movie teenagers don't have parents. Oh, right, my bad. So they break their stuff and have to turn off the lights and put on blindfolds so they don't risk seeing the Slender Man. Good idea. We can cheap out on the CG if it's too dark to see anyway. But Chloe immediately takes off the blindfold and runs right into Slender Man. Chloe's not smart, is she? If people were smart, we wouldn't have a movie. That's why Hallie doesn't even notice her close friends acting traumatized and dazed. Oh, so Slender Man let her go instead of killing the terrified, unarmed schoolgirl that was off alone. Got it. So Chloe goes home and gets a video call from Slender Man as he phases through her walls and comes to choke her. Slender Man hacked a cell phone. Yeah, I like to think he got bored and learned mobile device hacking in his spare time. You know, we could work in some product placement here. What if the whole sequence has a horribly distracting Sony logo on the phone? I mean, yeah, but Sony barely even makes phones. And now, thanks to this movie, everybody will know that Sony makes phones. Oh, and Slender Man also hangs with vampires, I guess, because he disappears when Chloe looks in the mirror. Good thing teenage girls never have any mirrors nearby. So several days pass and Hallie and Ren get suspicious that Chloe stopped going to school or answering messages. It took days for them to notice that a second friend went missing. Yeah, and Hallie sees the Slender Man stalking her from the woods and reacts to it like she just smelled a fart. I understand. You summon enough demons and it just becomes mundane at some point. Hi there, David. How's it hanging? What the? Who is that? Oh, that's David Pumpkins. I summoned him and he wouldn't leave, so I just gave him a job in casting. Jared Leto should helm all the franchises. So Ren goes to research Slender Man at the library and she finds a bunch of comparisons to other myths like the Pied Piper. Nice, spell out that were even less original than you thought. And she finds a science book about bioelectric entities, but the Slender Man attacks. Ooh, does he flicker the lights and screw with her phone again? You know it. And he also completely changes the layout of the library and sucks off Ren's face. What? Just, normal Slender Man powers in this movie and nowhere else. Kinda feels like this movie doesn't need to be 90 minutes. So Ren reads the book where a doctor says that Slender Man can bond to people and cause psychosis, loss of contact with reality, and non-specific dissolution. What does that mean? It means Slender Man can do whatever I say he can. So an actual doctor wrote an actual science book about how he doesn't know how Slender Man disappears people? Well, I didn't say he was a good doctor. Yeah, he's definitely the kind of moron who thinks that Advil causes autism. So they go to Chloe's house and find her staring out the window in a trance and looking really bad. Ooh, sounds like it's time for a creepy death scene. Nope, it's time to get laid. What? Yeah, Hallie got asked out by the boy she likes, so she's gonna ditch her friends and start insisting that Slender Man's fake out of nowhere. Well, they do say, bros before hoes. So she goes to Tim's house and they start to sex until Tim's eyes cloud over and he makes silly faces with eyeliner. Yeah, that move never worked for me either. So Tim and Hallie both insist that since Katie was on a Slender Man forum, that definitely means that she just met a 50-year-old pervert with a van. Ooh, calling our fans middle-aged pedos is tight. And Hallie stops Tim from summoning Slender Man because it's too dangerous, and then she just immediately leaves. So he summons the Slender Man? He does, yes. So if Hallie tried to stop Tim, does that mean that she's back to believing in Slender Man again? No, she runs into Ren at school and they're still pissed over that whole actually wanting to help their friends thing. Ooh, that girl is a bitch. So Hallie tries to ask Alley Cat for help, but her chat profile's been deleted. To be fair, I wouldn't want to talk to Hallie either. And Hallie hears Katie calling to her from the woods and she goes in alone and she runs into Slender Man. How's she gonna escape the monster in the woods with no friends or supplies? The movie's not over yet and that doesn't sound survivable. Actually, it's gonna be super easy, barely an inconvenience. Oh, really? Yeah, see, it was just a dream, so she just, wakes up. We ripped off Freddy Krueger, so now we're even more original. And then she goes to the bathroom and she's pregnant with a Slender Man tentacle sandwich, but that's a dream too, and she wakes up again. Just the sleepiest of teenage girls. And later, Katie's in a hospital when all the doctors stare at her and there's a patient with grudge hair, and then she's all dismembered in the woods. But it turns out that's a dream. Ah, dang it. Man, I'm getting good at these. So Lizzie lands in the hospital from seizures and panic attacks, and it turns out that Ren tried to sacrifice her to the Slender Man to save their friends. Her plan A was to sacrifice her best friend's sister and not the abusive dad or some random bully. Well, it helps if it's someone you love, and they shared a single scene together of casual conversation and otherwise have never spoken about each other. Sounds like love to me. So Hallie goes to Ren's house and stops Ren from jumping to her death. Darn it! I want these people to all die violently! And Ren says they have to sacrifice themselves to the Slender Man if they want to save Lizzie. So exactly what was going to happen anyway. Got it. So Slender Man hacks another cell phone, phases through a door with a black fart, and grabs Ren with bad CG tree branches. It actually specifies bad CG in the script, but Hallie has a series of flashbacks and realizes that she needs to sacrifice herself to Slender Man to save Lizzie. I have already forgotten what happened 2 minutes ago. So Hallie goes to the woods and says, "Take me," and Slender Man grows tentacles and comes after her. Wait, is this porn? I didn't know we could just make porn here. Sir, this is not porn. Slender Man just sucks Hallie into a tree and then she turns into wood. Slender Man turns people into wood? Well, a key part of his mystique is that nobody knows exactly what Slender Man does to his victims, so that means I can just make up bullcrap. Oh, wow. Wow. So Lizzie wakes up and gives a speech to nobody in particular about how people just need to stop caring about Slender Man. Oh, I don't see that happening anytime soon. Neither do I, sir, and that's our movie. I gotta be honest, it sounds like you just used Slender Man as an excuse to film arbitrary hallucinations for 90 minutes. I'm not sure the fans are gonna like that. What if we make a special menu for the home physical release with an atmospheric shot of the woods and a proper Slender Man jump scare? Perfect! Now we're a faithful adaptation. I'm so glad you like it, sir. Yeah, now we just have to hope that a real-life Slender Man-inspired murder doesn't gain nationwide attention and become forever associated with the character, forcing us to cut all of the death scenes and replace them with nothing. Well, that would render the movie incomprehensible. Yeah, but luckily I don't think any teenage girls are ever actually going to kill someone over the Slender Man. Oh, poopy shoot.